for the assessments, periodic table, HCl and ammonia will be the portion. You will be having 20 marks paper, all 20 marks will be MCQs. Clear? Okay, go through each and every topic. I'll send you the, did I send the HCl worksheet to you all? Did I post? No?
No.
Okay, I'll post HCl worksheet and ammonia worksheet as well. Clear? So we have completed three compounds in study of compounds, the 8th chapter. What is the first compound? HCl. Second
HCl.
one is
Ammonia.
ammonia. Third one,
Sulfuric
Nitric
acid.
sulfuric acid we have completed. Ayush, did we complete nitric acid?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, I was going in the sequence, ma'am, as the seventh chapter.
Okay, good. Tell me, Ayush, what is the process for the industrial preparation of sulfuric acid? It's not there in the sequence.
Ma'am, I'm on the index page, ma'am.
That's what. Tell me, what is the industrial preparation called as for sulfuric acid? Not at all paying attention. Yes, Narayan? One entire class I took only to explain that single process. Contact process. Did you all remember? Contact process. Sulfur is oxidized in the presence of oxygen, atmospheric oxygen, which is further oxidized in the presence of catalyst, vanadium pentoxide, into sulfur trioxide, which absorbs water and converts into, which absorbs sulfuric acid and converts into, what is that compound called as? Oleum. Pyrosulfuric acid, and then it will be dissolved in water to form sulfuric acid. Clear? Okay, so today we'll start the last compound, that is nitric acid. Okay. So as we are discussing about the study of compounds, the study of the compounds will follow the same content. What is the content in that? Occurrence will study, laboratory method of preparation, industrial method of preparation, physical properties, chemical properties, and how to identify the test for the compound. Did you remember? Okay. Now, so the same study we'll have for nitric acid as well. How does nitric acid occur in the free state and also in the combined state? What is the laboratory method to prepare nitric acid? Industrial method to prepare nitric acid, physical, chemical properties and the uses. First, coming to the occurrence of nitric acid, initially it was called as aqua fortis. Why is it called as aqua fortis? Because it is having strong affinity for water. It easily dissolves in water. Among all the compounds, it is having the strong affinity to dissolve in water. Therefore, it is called as aqua fortis. Okay. What is sulfuric acid called as?
Oil of vitriol.
Oil of vitriol. Right. So in the same like that, nitric acid is called as aqua fortis. In free state, it generally forms during thunders, during lightnings, and mostly during lightnings. The atmospheric nitrogen and oxygen, they combine and they form NO. What is the name of this compound NO?
Nitrous oxide.
Nitric oxide. Nitrous is N2O, nitric oxide. Okay, so they come during lightnings in the atmosphere. The atmospheric nitrogen and oxygen combine to form nitric oxide, and this nitric oxide will further oxidize in the presence of oxygen to form nitrogen dioxide, and during rain, this nitrogen dioxide combines with rainwater and it forms nitric acid. Did you remember nitric acid is also one of the components of acid rain? The two components of acid rain are sulfuric acid and nitric acid. So the sulfur dioxide combines with rainwater to form sulfuric acid. Nitrogen dioxide combine with rainwater to form nitric acid. Is it clear? So nitric acid is formed in the nature during lightnings. During heavy rains, nitric acid will be formed. Coming to the combined state, it is in general present in the form of nitrates. In the earth crust, it is present in the combined form as metallic nitrates. Clear? Metallic nitrates are formed when hydrogen in nitric acid is replaced by metals. I repeat, metallic nitrates are formed when hydrogen in nitric acid is replaced with metals. Are you able to follow? So sodium nitrate. Sodium nitrate is called as chili saltpeter, whereas potassium nitrate is called as niter. Okay, so these are the common names which you have to learn. Sodium nitrate, what is it called as? What is sodium nitrate called as, Piyush? Piyush, what is the name of sodium nitrate?
Aquaphor.
Aqua salt. From where did this come?
Chile saltpeter.
Yes, chili salt, bitter, whereas KNO3 is called as niter. Potassium nitrate is called as niter. So in the same way, it is also present as calcium nitrate as well. In the earth crust, it is also present in the form of calcium nitrate. So in the freeze state, it forms during lightnings, and whereas in combined state, it is present in the earth crust in the form of metal nitrates. What is the valency of nitrate ion? NO3. What is the valence? -1.
-1.
Today I'll send you the valency chart. I want all of you to by heart that valency chart. The first chapter in your 9th standard. None of you learned that. I'll send you today, learn it again. Nitrate, it is NO3 -1. Okay, now coming to the laboratory method to prepare nitric acid, it is produced by adding sulfuric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid to potassium nitrate or sodium nitrate. So if you remember, in sulfuric acid chapter we have discussed what is this property, how can we explain this property. Sodium nitrate or potassium nitrate, when reacted with concentrated sulfuric acid, they form nitric acid and potassium sulfates or sodium sulfate. What is this property called as? How do we explain this property? Yes, Melissa, did you remember?
Some higher affinity towards like that compound substance.
I remember
Ma'am, is it
It
dibasic?
had to do something with the hydrogens, releasing hydrogen. Dibasic
Ma'am, is
acid.
it dibasic?
Dibasic acid.
No, there is only one hydrogen is there in nitric acid. How can it be
Oh, yeah.
dibasic? See, the hydrogens of the positive ion of potassium nitrate or sodium nitrate is replaced by hydrogen when we add sulfuric acid.
Oxidation.
What is this entire sentence? We have discussed one statement.
Oxidation. Like oxidation reduction, something.
No, I'm not. There is no specific term. There is one specific sentence to explain this reaction. Yes, Amar.
Ma'am, was it?
Yes, Amar. Did you remember? The less volatile acid will replace more volatile acid from its salt solution. Is it something which you are listening only today, this statement, Narayan? Huh? Did you remember this? Did you remember? The less volatile acid replaces the more volatile acid from its salt solution. Did you all remember this statement?
Yes, ma'am.
So sulfuric acid is less volatile when we add to sodium, potassium nitrate or sodium nitrate. It will replace the acid from its salt solution. So the nitric acid is formed. Clear? So when concentrated sulfuric acid is added to potassium or sodium nitrate, we will get nitric acid and potassium bisulfate or sodium bisulfate. Okay. Now, children, you just try to understand this concept. If I take more amount of sulfuric acid, do you agree that instead of forming of potassium bisulfate and sodium bisulfate, it can form two molecules of nitric acid and K2SO4, potassium sulfate. The yield will be more. If we take more amount of sulfuric acid, what will happen? The nitric acid will get two molecules, that is 2 moles, and we will get potassium sulfate, K2SO4 will get. That means the yield will be more. But why are we restricting that? Only one hydrogen is replaced.
Ma'am,
Yes, Dhruv.
ma'am, it's because like when it forms N2SO4, it gets stuck to the glass, so it's very difficult to remove.
Very good. The potassium sulfate and sodium sulfate, they are the thick solids which will stick to the glass apparatus, which will be very difficult to remove, which will further restrict the reaction to take place. So always 1:1 ratio of potassium nitrate and sulfuric acid are taken. Okay. So when potassium nitrate and sodium or sodium nitrate, any one reactant will take, and when we add sulfuric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid, when we heat it, we will get the reddish brown vapors of nitric acid. These nitric acid, when they are cool, what will happen, as we have discussed, they will condense. The nitric acid vapors will condense and we will get liquid nitric acid. Did you understand, students? Did you understand this preparation? So sodium nitrate or potassium nitrate, when we react with concentrated sulfuric acid in the present, and when we heat, we will get the vapors of nitric acid. These vapors of nitric acid are cooled, by which the nitric acid vapors will condense and we will get liquid nitric acid. Clear? Is the preparation clear, children? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the temperature is always maintained below 200 degrees Celsius, because what happens if we increase the temperature?
And
Both
One thing
hydrogens release.
N2SO4.
One thing you have to understand, there will be a vigorous reaction to form sodium sulfate and potassium sulfate. And one more thing is, nitric acid easily decomposes. Decompose means it will break. When nitric acid decomposes, we will get nitrogen dioxide, NO2 gas. What is the color of NO2?
Reddish brown.
Reddish brown vapors. So nitric acid has a tendency to decompose. Easily it will decompose to nitrogen dioxide and oxygen gas. In order to prevent the decomposition of nitric acid, we will maintain the temperature below 200 degrees Celsius. Yes, Aditya?
Ma'am, can you also say that if it is above 200 degrees Celsius, it will form potassium sulfate plus hydrogen gas, because in HCl we did that if the temperature is high, then both hydrogens release.
Yes. That also we can write.
Okay.
Okay, but here the main thing is the nitric acid, the product will be affected. So we'll stress on that point. So why high temperatures are not preferred? Why high temperature is not preferred? Because the formed nitric acid will decompose to form nitrogen dioxide. In order to prevent the decomposition, we will maintain the temperature below 200 degrees Celsius. Is it clear? And next, the entire apparatus is made up of glass. Why is it made up of glass? The reason is this: the
Glass
nitric acid
high
vapors
temperature.
are highly corrosive. Okay, they may attack the rubber or cork. So since due to the high corrosive nature of nitric acid, the entire apparatus are made up of glass. Clear? Okay. So the simple preparation. What is the laboratory preparation of nitric acid? Yes, who will explain? Who will explain? Yes. Tell me the preparation, laboratory preparation of nitric acid. Yes. He will disconnect and connect again and say the connectivity is less. Yes, Atharva. Did you understand, Atharva? Tell in simple words. Yes, Srishti. Srishti. Preparation of nitric acid.
Nitric acid.
Hmm?
Ma'am,
Are you
it's
not
first-
able to understand?
Ma'am, it's first potassium nitrate with H2O. Its reaction.
Yes. A simple
Ma'am.
statement. Sodium or potassium nitrate reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid to give nitric acid. Sally, did you get this? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell the preparation?
Ma'am,
Yes, tell.
potassium or sodium nitrate reacts with nitric acid to give
Reacts with sulfuric acid
sulfuric acid. Sorry, to give nitric acid.
to give nitric acid. What is the temperature? It is below 200 degree Celsius. Now these are the repeatedly asked reasoning questions based upon the laboratory preparation of nitric acid. First one, why sulfuric acid is used but not HCl?
Less volatile.
Very good. Sulfuric acid is less volatile, so it can easily replace nitric acid from its salt solution. When compared to HCl, we have discussed in the previous chapter, sulfuric acid is least volatile among all the acids, right? Since sulfuric acid is less volatile, it is preferred than HCl. Students, are you able to follow?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Sid, Narayan, on your videos. Ayush,
Yes, ma'am.
Piyush, all of you on your video modes. Kanchan, Rishabh, Amatullah, yes, Amatullah, I think you got the permission, right? Akshat, what about you? On your video mode? Are you all able to follow? Okay. Next, reactants are taken in 1:1 ratio. Even though if we take more amount, the yield will be more. But even though the yield is more, we are not taking more amount of reactants. We are taking it as 1:1. That means if we take one mole of sodium nitrate or potassium nitrate, we are taking only 1 mole of sulfuric acid. You can see the reaction here. The coefficients are 1, right? Why are we taking them in 1:1 ratio? It is to prevent the formation of sodium and potassium sulfate. If we take in 1:2 ratio, we will get sodium and potassium sulfate, which are thick solids, which will form a thick layer in the glass apparatus, further restricting the process. So the reactants are taken 1:1 ratio in order to avoid the formation of sodium and potassium sulfate. What is potassium sulfate formula? Yes, what is potassium sulfate formula? Unmute yourself and tell me.
Ma'am, KNO3. Ma'am,
Potassium sulfate.
Ma'am, K
Ma'am, K2SO4.
yeah.
K2SO4. Sulfate valence is -2, so it will be K2SO4. And sodium sulfate will be Na2SO4.
Na2SO4.
So in order to prevent the formation of K2SO4 and Na2SO4, we are taking less amount of the reactants to form potassium and sodium bisulfates. If the sulfates are formed, they will form a thick layer here which will stop the further reaction. So we are taking the reactants as 1:1 ratio to prevent the formation of potassium and sodium sulfates. Did you understand, Kanchan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then complete apparatus are made of glass. What is the reason, Atharva? The complete apparatus are made of glass.
Because of the temperature,
Sorry?
to handle the high temperature.
The complete apparatus is made of glass because if we use any rubber or any cork, the nitric acid which is formed it is highly corrosive. It will corrode that, it will blast that rubber apparatus. It will corrode. In order to prevent the corrosion, the glass is corrosion resistant. That is the reason we are using the entire apparatus as glass apparatus. Okay, the reason is the nitric acid is highly corrosive. It can corrode rubber, any other apparatus. The glass apparatus are used because glass is resistant to corrosion. Now, why the temperature is below 200 degrees Celsius? Yes, Narayan? Why temperature is below 200 degrees Celsius?
I don't know.
You don't know? You didn't listen? Or you did not understand?
Forgot.
Yes, Akshat? Why the temperature is below 200 degrees Celsius? Akshat, you turn your videos on your video mode.
I'm having lunch.
Yes, Akshat, why temperature is below 200 degrees Celsius? You didn't find in your textbook?
Sorry, ma'am, but maybe it can get vaporized.
The temperature is below 200 degrees Celsius because if we maintain more temperature above 200 degrees Celsius, the formed nitric acid may decompose to nitrogen dioxide. In order to prevent the decomposition of the formed nitric acid, the temperature is maintained below 200 degrees Celsius. Is it clear? So I repeat, sulfuric acid is used, but not HCl because sulfuric acid is less volatile. Reactants are taken 1:1 ratio in order to prevent the formation of sulfates. Complete apparatus are made of glass because only glass is corrosion resistant. Nitric acid is highly corrosive, so glass apparatus are used. Temperature is maintained below 200 degrees Celsius because if it is above 200 degrees Celsius, the nitric acid may decompose to nitrogen dioxide. Yes, Rishabh?
Ma'am, may I go please drink water?
Go.
Ma'am, sorry?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Thank you, ma'am.
Clear, children? Are you clear? Are you thorough? Is it clear? The laboratory preparation of nitric acid. Okay. Next, coming to the industrial preparation of nitric acid, it is called as Ostwald process. The industrial preparation of nitric acid is called as Ostwald process. Did you all remember the industrial preparation of ammonia is called as ammonia?
Haber's process.
Haber's process. Industrial preparation of ammonia is called as Haber's process. Industrial preparation of sulfuric acid is called as contact process, whereas the industrial preparation of nitric acid is called as Ostwald process. Okay, in this Ostwald process, there will be 3 steps or 3 chambers, we can say. First one is converting chamber, second one is oxidation chamber, and third one is absorption chamber. It will be a simple reaction, 3-step reactions. First, they will take ammonia and oxygen. Generally, they does not take pure oxygen, they combine air. Because we know air has 20% of oxygen. So they will mix 1 volume of ammonia and 8 volumes of, or not 8, almost 10 volumes of air they will mix. Why they are taking 10 volumes of air? Because from that 10 volumes, we know each volume, 1 volume of air contains only 20% of oxygen. The reaction requires oxygen, therefore they will take more volume of air to get oxygen from it. Clear? And that if you observe the reactions here, the first step and second step which I have mentioned here, both the steps require oxygen. First step requires oxygen, second step also requires oxygen. That is the reason they will take more amount of air. So they will make ammonia to react with oxygen in the presence of platinum. Platinum or rubidium, they are used as catalyst here. And once they heat, ammonia will react with oxygen and it will form nitrogen oxide. If you remember, children, the same reaction we have discussed in ammonia chapter as well. The reaction with oxygen. Ammonia reacts with oxygen in 2 ways. In the absence of catalyst, it releases nitrogen gas. In the presence of catalyst, it forms nitrogen oxide. If you remember. Okay, so for the first step, ammonia is converted into nitric oxide. Therefore, it is called as converting chamber or converter. So what is the first step in Ostwald process? Ammonia is reacted with oxygen in the presence of platinum catalyst to form nitric oxide. Here the temperature is maintained at 500 kilocalories, and this temperature, as we have mentioned in sulfuric acid also, the apparatus are once they are heated and then the heating is discontinued. Because the second step, the formation of nitrogen dioxide, is an exothermic reaction. It releases a lot of heat energy which is sufficient for the further reaction to proceed. Clear? So the first step is conversion of ammonia into nitric oxide in the presence of platinum catalyst. Clear? Then in the second step, that is oxidizing chamber, the formed nitric oxide will be allowed to pass to this chamber where the nitric oxide will further oxidize into nitrogen dioxide. The second step is the formed nitric acid is oxidizing to form nitrogen dioxide. So this nitrogen dioxide, it will absorb water. They will take water. Here you can see quartz. Quartz means one type of glass and sand. Quartz material. They will just take the quartz is arranged as a form of layers, and then in this quartz pieces, in the chamber of quartz pieces, the nitrogen oxides absorb water to form nitric acid. Children, if you remember, the first 2 steps are same like sulfuric acid. sulfur reacts with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide further reacts with oxygen to form sulfur trioxide. There, direct absorption is not there, but here directly nitrogen dioxide can absorb water to form nitric acid. Did you all understand these steps? The first step is conversion of ammonia into nitric oxide in the presence of platinum catalyst. Second, the oxidation of nitric oxide to form nitrogen dioxide. Third step, nitrogen dioxide will dissolve in water. The water is absorbed and it is dissolved in water to form nitric acid. See, these are the 3 steps followed in the Ostwald process of preparing nitric acid. Is it clear? Did you all understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, coming to the reasoning questions here. The ratio of ammonia and air is taken in 1:10 ratio. Why? As we have discussed, the air contains only 20% of oxygen, and oxygen is required for all the reactions, all the steps. The first and second step, and even for absorption of water also oxygen is required. So since more amount of oxygen is required in this process, we will take the volume of ammonia and air in 1:10 ratio. We will take 10 volumes of air when we take only 1 volume of ammonia. Then electric heating is done initially only. Why? Because as I told you, the reaction is exothermic. This reaction is exothermic, which releases lot of heat energy, which can be utilized for the further reaction to proceed. Then quartz is used. As I told you here, directly we can, why are we using quartz here? If you can observe here, quartz is not involved in any of the reaction. It is not involved in the third reaction. But the chamber, the tower contains quartz pieces. It is filled with the layers of quartz. The reason is that it will, suppose see here, just imagine if there are layers of quartz. Do you agree that nitrogen dioxide is a gas, right? The reacting, the what we can say, the passage of gas will be less. The spreading of NO2 gas will be less if the quartz is placed as layers. Do you all agree with that? Did you understand that or the statement which I told? Suppose if I just take a glass chamber and if I allow NO2 gas to pass, what happens? It will completely spread as a whole. But if I take quartz pieces as layers, the spread of NO2 is controlled by this quartz pieces. Do you agree for that? Did you understand that one? So what happens if the NO2, the spreading of NO2 is controlled? What happens? The absorption process, the reaction of NO2 with water will be slow. The reaction takes place slowly, right? So when the reaction takes place slowly, the nitric acid will form. There will not be any corrosion or there will not be any explosion. So in order to prevent the immediate spread of NO2 and in order to make the passage of NO2 slowly, these quartz pieces are used. And once nitric acid is formed, this quartz is acid resistant. Okay, so since it is acid resistant, the layers of quartz are used. Otherwise, we can use any other pieces as layers, right? But only quartz is used here because it is acid resistant. And why quartz pieces are placed in layers like this? In order to control the passage of, in order to control the sudden spread of NO2 gas, and in order to control the formation of nitric acid, the quartz pieces are taken in layers. Did you understand? So these are the reasoning questions which are repeatedly asked from Ostwald process. Did you understand, children, the Ostwald process?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? So what are the 3 steps in Ostwald process? What is the first step? What is the first step?
Conversion of ammonia into nitric oxide.
Conversion of ammonia into nitric oxide in the presence of platinum catalyst. And second one is, what is the second step?
Nitrogen
Nitrous oxide to nitrogen dioxide.
Nitric oxide is oxidized into nitrogen dioxide. And third step,
Nitrogen oxide to nitric acid.
nitrogen dioxide is absorbed by water. It reacts with water to form
To
nitric acid.
acid.
Is it clear, children?
Yes.
Okay. Now, coming to the properties of nitric acid, it is colorless gas with suffocating odor, or colorless. If it dissolves in water, we can say it is colorless liquid with suffocating odor. But see, in the initially I have mentioned here, if you observe, the actual color of nitric acid is colorless. Can you observe here? But whenever you take nitric acid, it will be slightly brownish in color. The nitric acid, its actual color is, actually it is colorless, but it always appears as slight brownish color. What is the reason for that? As we have mentioned in laboratory preparation, nitric acid easily decomposes. If nitric acid decomposes, what we will get? What is formed when nitric acid decomposes?
Water and nitrogen dioxide.
We will get nitrogen dioxide, right? Nitrogen dioxide is reddish brown in color. So due to the formation of nitrogen dioxide, even if we keep nitric acid in an airtight container, but still nitric acid has a tendency to slightly decompose and form nitrogen dioxide. Some amount of nitric acid will decompose to form nitrogen dioxide, and that nitrogen dioxide dissolve in that solution itself. That is the reason, in general, nitric acid solution appears slight brownish color. Clear? Then it is non-poisonous and highly corrosive in nature. It is heavier than water. Can you tell the molecular formula of nitric acid? Nitric acid molecular formula.
HNO3.
Yes. What is the molecular mass of HNO3? Hydrogen is 1, oxygen 16, nitrogen 14. Tell me the molecular mass of nitric acid. Hydrogen 1.
63.
1.
Yes, Saili?
Ma'am, 63.
63 is its molecular mass. 48 plus 14 plus 1. There are 3 oxygens, right? 16 into 3, 48 plus 14 plus 1. 63 grams. So it is heavier than water. And it is highly soluble in water. Now when we want to evaporate, for example, how is nitric acid solution? What is nitric acid solution? If we dissolve nitric acid in water, we will get nitric acid solution, right? Suppose from nitric acid solution, if I want to separate nitric acid and water, generally what method we will use to separate? We will use distillation. Are you able to understand? Did you remember distillation process which you learned in your 7th and 8th standards? What is distillation? It is a process of separating two liquids or a liquid and gas based upon the difference in their boiling points. Distillation means when we heat, what will happen? The substance with low boiling point will vaporize first. It will be collected, and then the two liquids are separated. Okay, so generally, if we want to separate nitric acid and water, we cannot separate completely. We can get only 98% of nitric acid or we can say by normal distillation, only 68% of pure nitric acid, 68% of acid only can be obtained. Because please understand this concept. When we take water, when we take the mixture of water and nitric acid, and when we start heating, when the temperature reaches at 121 degrees Celsius, they form a constant boiling mixture. What is meant by constant boiling mixture? That means both together will start boiling. The water and nitric acid both together will start boiling. That mixture will contain 68% of nitric acid and remaining how much? 22 or 32. 32% of water vapor. Did you understand? When we heat, when we start boiling the water and nitric acid mixture, when the temperature reaches at 121 degrees Celsius, the both in the ratio of 68% of acid and 32% of water, both of them will start evaporating together. That mixture is called as constant boiling mixture. It is also called as azeotropic mixtures. Azeotropic mixture or constant boiling mixture. So nitric acid cannot be completely separated from water because it forms constant boiling mixture with water at 121 degrees Celsius. Clear? So if we want to separate or if we want to get nitric acid, we can get only 68% acid. That means 68% acid means we cannot get 100% concentrated nitric acid. We will get only nitric acid which contains 68% of acid and 32% of water. So the formation or the preparation of pure nitric acid or separation of pure nitric acid from water is not possible. Did you understand, children? Because they form constant boiling mixture at 121 degrees Celsius. And how to prepare the pure nitric acid? By normal distillation method we cannot prepare, but they will use a method called as distillation under pressure. When they maintain a high pressure, the water will again condense back. We all know water can easily condense. The water vapor can easily condense into liquid water, right? So under pressure, we can prepare 98% pure nitric acid. That 98% pure nitric acid is called as fuming nitric acid. Is it clear, children? So from
Yes,
nitric acid solution, if you want to separate by normal distillation method, it is not possible because it forms constant boiling mixture. But under pressure, if we distillate, we can get 98% nitric acid, which is called as pure or fuming nitric acid. And as we all know, it is having only one replaceable hydrogen. Therefore, it is monobasic acid. Clear? So these are the properties of nitric acid. Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So the chemical properties we'll discuss in the next class. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.